let me tell you what's in our infrastructure bill, the $3.5 trillion bill. It was just yesterday that Nancy Pelosi quietly tucked an enforcement mechanism into the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill, passed it out of the budget committee, and sent it to the House floor. It's something you should know about on page 168. And I know. I mean, why read it? It's 2,465 pages. So, that's about double the length of Les Miserables. Just the longest book I've ever read in my life, and it just went on and on and on. That's about double. So anyway, page 168 is a tenfold increase in fines for employers that willfully, repeatedly, or even seriously violate a section of the labor law that deals with hazards, deaths, or physical harm to their employees. OSHA set the precedent this summer and published an emergency COVID-19 rule in the Federal Register, taking jurisdiction over and providing justification for COVID-19 being a workplace hazard for healthcare employment. Then Biden announced his 100-employee plus kind of thing, where you'll have OSHA breathing down your neck. Well, in the budget, there is now OSHA fines for non-compliance up to $700,000 for each willful or repeated violation. That will kill all companies that are non-compliant. Kill them. That's 80 million of us work in companies that are going to be fined in that way if they don't bow the knee to the king. By the way, President Biden embraced the stance earlier this month when he challenged Republicans who are threatening lawsuits over what they decry as his federal overreach. He said, "Have at it. We're playing for real here. This isn't a game." They're playing hardball. Yeah. Are the Republicans?
You could argue that, I guess, but this is something they're not even trying to get a debate on, right?
No.
This is not one of the big features of this bill. They're jamming it in there,
right,
under the cover of darkness.
Well, let me give you another feature you're going to love. Okay, this is the Build Back Better bill. What? Build Back Better.
The Build Back Better what?
Bill.
The Build Back Better bill.
Build Back Better bill.
The bill that's building back better.
That's the Build Back Better bill.
Got it.
Okay. So it's pouring tens of billions of dollars.
How many billions? Tens of billions?
Tens of billions.
In the Build Back Better bill?
Yes.
Billions in the Build Back Better bill?
Yes. An unprecedented amount into community organizations. That's because congressional Democrats have failed to ram through two voting bills, H.R. 1 and H.R. 4. Those were the ones that were going to change the elections, right?
No, that's not the Build Back Better bill. That's a different bill.
No, this is the bill that bankrolls the things in the Build Back Better bill.
That bankrolls the Build Back Better bill of the billions.
Yes, got it. It bankrolls nonprofit community organizations.
That sounds totally like it couldn't possibly have any problems, right?
The Small Business Administration is distributing huge sums to nonprofits that will serve as incubators, dispersing funds to startup businesses in underserved areas.
Businesses are helped in the Build Back Better bill?
With billions. Curiously, the SBA already has regional offices across the USA to help startups and could distribute the funds itself, but instead it's empowering nonprofits by making them the middleman. 90% of the startups fall. 90% of all startups fail, okay? No riskier place to put your money in than into a brand new business. Yet, the bill for the billions in the Build Back Better bill established no standards for which businesses get the billions of the Build Back Better bill. Except they have to be majority owned by members of underrepresented communities, including residents of high poverty areas.
Okay.
And the formerly incarcerated.
Oh, good.
The one thing they cannot have.
What's the? You said startups 90% failure. What's the startup of the formerly incarcerated rate? Is it higher than 90%? Would you say?
I don't have the numbers on that, but I'm guessing maybe. Well, let me just say this. If you're formerly incarcerated and you started a business before and it's been going for, let's say, 5 years, you have a pretty good chance. However, the one thing...
Yeah, that's not to say you can't turn your life around,
Correct.
but I would say just percentage-wise,
Sure.
the businesses that are trying to build back better with these billions, there might be better targets.
Well, here's the one thing they can't have. If you're formerly incarcerated that lives in a high poverty area and you're a member of an underrepresented community and you're looking for funding for your startup, you can't have a track record.
Oh, well, that would be...
If you've been in business for 5 years, you're not eligible for this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have people, but also have no experience.
No experience. No experience.
Well, see, you pointed it out earlier, Glenn. Mm-hmm. These sorts of businesses are the most risky place to put your money. Well, that matters when it's your money. If it's not your money, who cares how risky it is? It's our money, so they don't care at all.
Build Back Better is funding an even wider array of organizations. It's allocating a whopping $5.7 billion for community-led projects to stabilize neighborhoods. There's also $5 billion for climate justice block grants.
Grants for billions in the Build Back Better bill?
Yes, to pay for community organizations for, among other things, facilitating engagement of disadvantaged communities in state and federal processes. Now, wait a minute. Facilitating engagement of disadvantaged communities in state and federal processes.
That's just not at all.
Organizing votes?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. This is the left-wing community organizing that Barack Obama did.
Barack Obama, the Build Back Better bill with billions?
Yes.
Why are all the words B's?
I don't know.
But you're right. This is essentially all of us funding the fever dream of Barack Obama pre-Senate.
This is
right. Like this is his gig back then.
Right, and this is what they don't need the federal election HR 1 or HR 4.
Just throw it in here.
Just throw it in here, and they're already funding it. That's what's happening. And if any Republican votes for this, they must be voted out of office. They must be voted out of office.
They're not going to vote for this reconciliation bill, I don't think. But that doesn't matter. They don't need any Republicans. Like all they have to do is get Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema on board. And really think of all this stuff that we're discussing here. There's probably another 1,000 examples in this bill.
Oh, yeah.
I know Open the Books is going through it, and they're the ones I think that found this 10 times increase. They're going to find tons of stuff like this. So you're telling me I'm supposed to believe that the Democrats are not going to come through and get this thing voted on? Where I'm supposed to believe this pseudo theater where they all come out and say, I don't know, $3 trillion is a lot. Oh, well, I'll tell you, Joe Manchin, if you don't pass the $3 trillion, I won't pass your infrastructure bill. Oh, wow, there's a lot of disagreement here. I wonder if Nancy Pelosi can pull it off. Of course they're going to pull it off. You're telling me they're going to let all this stuff die? They can tell you that there's drama and there's pushing and pulling, and of course there's negotiation. Everyone wants to get their crap in at the end, right? Joe Manchin wants to have something that he kills in this bill so he can go back to West Virginia and fool them for the 500th time that he's actually moderate. But the bottom line is, Joe Manchin's not going to save you. Do you think Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are going to save you? They're not going to save you. They're going to come up with some justification to get this done. There's too much of this crap in there to let it die. It's way too important for them. I don't believe it at all.
Glad I have a phone book still. I'm just looking for a rope store and a place where I can find a rickety stool, hopefully next door to each other.
The rickety stools is the rickety stool store funded in the Build Back Better bill?
It might be. Well, if they don't have any success track record.
They don't. They're a terrible business.
Terrible
it's a convict
business. Yeah.
who's hanging people. He went to prison. He got out and started a rickety stool store.